Welcome back to ECOSTRESS tutorials. This tutorial will teach you how to use a Python code to create monthly composites of ECOSTRESS images. Let's start by making sure we have everything we need downloaded. First, I downloaded this monthly composites code from the ECOSTRESS tutorials GitHub. I'll make sure to put a link for this in the description. Next, I have to have a folder with my data. It's best practice to use QC'd or cloud masked data for this project. If your data is not QC'd or cloud masked, you can use one of our previous codes to do so. However, if you QC or cloud mask using your own method, you may need to adjust some of the date-time extraction parts of the code to match your input file's naming structure. Let's right-click to create a project folder. Select New Folder and name it accordingly. Now let's put our code and input data into the project folder. Next, open the project folder and right-click and select New Folder. This is where we will keep the composite outputs, so name it accordingly. Now that we have the project folder all set up, let's open Visual Studio Code. At the top, select File, Open Folder, and get connected to the project folder. Select Open. In the Explore tab, find the monthly composites code and click on it to open it. It should look something like this. If you want to learn more about what each line of the code does, look for the comments. Comments are these green texts that have a hashtag in front of them. Comments do not affect how the code is run, but can provide more information for readers. Let's find this section of the code titled Define Input and Output Locations and List Files. Look for this variable titled Input Directory, and find this section that says Replace this text with folder path. In order to get the folder path for our input directory, go to the Explore tab and find our inputs. In this case, I'm using QC data, so it's this folder. I'm going to right-click and select Copy Path. Now, back in the code, I can go in here and paste it by pressing Command V. Make sure there's still an R in front and that it's wrapped in quotes. Next, let's find the variable titled Output Directory. Find the section that says Replace this text with the folder path. Once again, go to the Explore tab and copy the output folder path by right-clicking and selecting Copy Path. Now we can paste it in here. Once again, make sure it has an R at the beginning and it's wrapped in quotes. Next, find the section of the code titled Create Median Composites for every group month. Look for the variable that's called Output File Path. Here you can see the file name. You can change this as needed. For example, I'm going to name mine based off where my files are from. Now the code should be set up to run with your desired images. Scroll back to the top and find the section titled Import Necessary Libraries. Click into this code section and press Shift and Return to run. A pop-up should appear asking you to select a Python environment. Click Python Environments and then select your ECOSTRESS environment, or you can select any other environment you want to use for this project. Let the code run and it will count the seconds. You'll know it's done running when this green check mark appears. Continue this process of running each block of code in order from top to bottom by clicking into the code block and pressing Shift and Enter to run. Once the code has finished running, let's make sure that our files were saved correctly. Go to your Outputs folder and make sure the files are present. You now have monthly composites of all your ECOSTRESS images. Thank you for watching this ECOSTRESS tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. For more trainings, tutorials, and information, including a written version of this tutorial and its associated code, go to ecostress.jpl.nasa.gov/documents, which will be linked in the description.